Take number 3. Okay, so after months of channeling and studying and sleepless nights, because I'm not going to lie, and major anxiety and chaos and little tidbits here and there, I had a channeling in which I was given a course correction to go back to studying. I mean, I have to word it like the way it is, but to studying necromancy. And I feel like I'm picking up on a wave because I've seen quite a few people in my very similar situation that are going through the same thing. It's almost kind of like the energy about us. Give it maybe our transits, maybe the planets are trying to tell us something, right? If you believe in that. But it's like it's time to study the dead again, and I've been over the subject of the dead many times for obvious reasons. And I got to admit, it does feel more comfortable. It does feel more aligned with me because I've always been fascinated with the afterlife and fascinated with, the dead. And so has every single culture in existence, right? Because we're all curious about what happens after we die. I no longer have that curiosity. I'm more interested in communication, and more specifically with a very singled out deceased person that I knew in life. They are the ones that got me to believe in a lot of the things that I believe in. More specifically, spiritual practices. They helped me to develop faith in those spiritual practices. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't believe in evil eye. I wouldn't believe in curing through the process of herbal remedies. I wouldn't believe in, basically, I wouldn't believe in curanderismo. I wouldn't believe brujeria was real. I wouldn't believe in the idea of the laying of the hands. I wouldn't have put stock in any of that if it wasn't for this person. So I thought, who better to ask about those practices than that person? Problem is that they took that knowledge with them to the grave. The people that were around them didn't really pay attention, and or they don't really want to discuss it. It's not like it was an ugly secret. It's just like it was just so ingrained in their lifestyle that they didn't really think to cherish it and salvage what they could. So I wanted to go to them to ask them questions, and they were very dear to me. So I was debating for a long time, like, would it be offensive to disturb them, and in their afterlife dealings? Because my own gnosis has confirmed what many others has confirmed, which is just as much as there's work in this life, there's work in the afterlife. And just as much as if you really think about it, the work here doesn't make any sense, neither does the work in the afterlife. If you really think about it, a lot of the stuff we do doesn't make any real sense. So anyway, what I did was I, of course, made myself known. I went to their plot. I, had conversation, very informally, of course. And I left something as homage. And I left, I didn't leave there without saying prayers because this person was pretty religious. And I respect that. And so, since dealing with the infernal, and just granted, I just dipped my toe into the studies with the infernal. I didn't go full bore. But they really did help me to increase my intuition and to better my channeling. I'm very grateful for that. And with that being said, I've been able to receive way better. They got me studying. They got me practicing. So I'm really grateful that they were able to teach me that. It wasn't any one in specifically. It was just kind of all of them combined, I think. So because there was just, oh my God, if I showed you my emotes from my channeling from dealing with the infernal over the past like 3 or 4 months, it's overwhelming. But anyways, so they opened me up a little bit, or a lot. And so when I was at the cemetery, I haven't been able to really see a full-on, full-fledged, full-bodied apparition in a while. I've really only mainly been seeing shadow people, because also I don't go anywhere. Anyways, and so as I was speaking to this person in the cemetery, trying to plead with them to help me out, I see something in my peripheral vision here on my right side. And there's a lot of other plots over there, and there's flags, and there's windmills, and stuff like that. So I thought that maybe I was just seeing like a little flag or a little windmill. But then I kind of gazed over like this, and I'm looking there for a couple of seconds, and I see a man in blue denim running towards me, and he's super skinny, and he has dark brown hair. He has either dark blue eyes or dark colored eyes, and he has really light complexion. His denim is like up to it's long sleeve denim, and he's wearing like denim jeans. And there's somebody running behind him. I can't tell if it's a kid or a woman, but they have kind of like their hair is kind of flopping in the wind. And they're light complected, and they're much shorter than him. They're probably up to his shoulder. And he's running at me, smiling. He's like, trying to catch up to me. And as I'm sitting there at the grave, I had this inclination to say a prayer for the deceased. And it ended up, when I Googled it on my phone, it ended up being the yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And I was thinking to myself, the person that I'm saying this to is probably comforted by that prayer. So that's probably why I was prompted to say it. But then when these two spirits are running towards me, I was thinking, maybe they're excited. Maybe nobody has really sat here and spoken those words or said that prayer in a long time. I don't know, but he was excited. So I looked, and then I looked at the tombstone, and then I looked again, and he was gone, and they were gone. So I was like, badass. I was like, I still got it. Like, I can still see them. Like, this is awesome. But anyways, I left something there for this person, and I told them that I would leave it there so that it could kind of absorb their energy. I was kind of winging it, guys. I'm just being honest with you. I left it there so it could absorb their energy, and I really wanted them to give me some of their essence to bring back with me so that we could study together. And my motives are pretty pure. Like, I don't want to harm anyone. I don't want to do anything malefic. I just want info. So I left it there. My dumbass didn't think to look at the tombstone, like, because I already knew who was there. Like, I'm not going to just be staring at the tombstone. I was too busy reading the prayer and just kind of like talking, like, hey, if you could do me this favor, I really appreciate it. I'll bring you whatever it is that you want to bring. Like, if you want drinks, or if you want, whatever, flowers, I'll bring it to you, whatever you want. And you'll be more than welcome to have a place in my home, as per usual. You already know that. So I left something there, dug it in the earth, and I marked on my calendar a day to go back and to pick it up and to hope that it was infused with their essence, And it ended up being a week later. That's when my husband was at work. It's when me and my son kind of like hang around the house. We don't really have much to do, so we kind of go on little adventures. Oh, and yeah, he goes with me to the cemetery, and he loves it. He loves it because there's all these windmills and decorations and stuff that he likes to look at. So anyway, and I've never felt harmed by a cemetery. So anyway, so we, I designate a day, and on that day, that morning, I felt the need to look up that person's astrological symbol because I wanted to know why they were the way they were in life. So I look up their obituary, and the day that I'm going to pick up the thing that I left, lo and behold, it's their birthday. And I'm like, wow. And I picked that day because to me, that day is a day of empowerment. It's a very special number to me, and it's a day of empowerment. So I go back there and I'm like, happy birthday. I had no clue because I didn't even look at your tombstone because I'm that dim-witted. But happy birthday. I miss you. I love you. and it was just a really remarkable moment. So I took that thing that I left home and I talked to them because I have a picture of them, and I talked to them and I was like, I miss you so much. I love you so much. And, can we do this together? Would you be willing to do this with me? And that night, I heard somebody call my name. It was actually right before I was about to go to bed. Janelle. And I was like, huh? I was already like drifting off. So I had my arm around my husband, which I mean, I hardly ever do because I can't breathe on that side. I have a deviated septum. But I was laying down with him, with my arm over him, and I heard, Janelle. And I go, huh? And then he goes, huh? And I was like, somebody just called my name in my voice. And he's like, huh? I was like, never mind, go sleep. And so I'm just sitting there all frustrated because now it's going to be yet again another night that I lose sleep. So that's pretty much all that happened that night for the most part. And then I get up and, go about my daily business. I write everything down, of course. And that's when I believe, according to my book, that I had a channeling. Yes. Yes, it was after that. I had a channeling that indicated to me that first and foremost, Santa Muerte popped up, and she was wearing a silver crown, and there was also an owl that popped up with her, and then it went to like I saw this heart, and this that has nothing to do with one another. This is all random things like this is what my channelings look like, all these different pictures, and see like but and I draw them so that I don't forget. But I saw a heart, and one side said Ed, and the other side was going to say Lorraine, because I don't know why in my subconscious Ed and Lorraine Warren popped up. But anyways, I saw a man in this channeling, a man. His face was painted completely black, but he was of African descent. He was actually mixed because his hair was like loose curly. It wasn't tight curls. It was very loose curly. So maybe he was of Afro-Caribbean descent. But he had the nose painted white like the bones. And he had around his mouth painted white with the teeth marks. But the rest of his paint was black, and he had orange eyes. And he just kind of popped up. He just went boom like that. I saw half his face. Boom. And I was like, what? So he said, I need permission from the Don, which is another relevant piece of information. But anyway, from the Don to speak with the dead. The Don is like the gift, but a Don is also somebody with higher standing. It says he needs to check his book. And like there's a book of the dead, and it was maroon with golden stripes. And he's checking it for me. That's what it said. He said he's checking it for me. And he's talking about this person and their relatives. And they're like, their relative was really weird. And I was like, yeah, they were. And I'm going to show you a picture up close as to what he showed me in regards to like who I needed to talk to in that cemetery. Basically he showed me this, and it was a woman, and she had red lipstick, but her body was skeletal paint. It was skeletal paint. So it was black and white paint on this side and white and black paint on this side. And I tried to draw her lipstick, and then she had a very simple three pointed crown, very simple. And the blue around it, her skin color was blue. So you could see her skin and her features on top of the skeletal paint. And it was saying, you need to go to her and strike up a deal with her. Like, you have permission now, but you need to go develop a conversation with her. It's hard to find information on the head of the cemetery without bumping into Baron Samedi, like information online. So that's not my culture, and I'm not intending to appropriate that practice, that religion, and that culture. But it had been instructed to me on many different occasions by a few people that are well versed in cemetery work to go to the head of the cemetery. So this was just affirmation. It's not like I haven't been told that before, but from very, like I said, well versed people. But just seeing this picture and it being told to me from messages from the infernal, it's like, I'm going to take their advice and I'm going to pursue this. And it, like I said, it does feel more comfortable to work with the dead and amongst the dead than it does the infernal and the celestial. Just for some reason, it just feels more at home with me. You know, nothing happens by accident. So it was like a very friendly course correction. And I was like, thanks. After like 3 or 4 months, thanks for telling me now. It's like, well, better now than never, you know. You can come back and tap on this subject later, but as for now, this is what you need to be focusing on. And I was like, okay, I'm happy about that. So, and then the 2 days ago in the morning, as I'm waking up, I heard Janelle, but in their voice. And I was just like, I didn't say huh or anything like that. I was like looking around to see if I can see anything, but it was in their voice. And I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because to me that meant they're here. So it's been a couple of days since then. The way I feel is I'm letting them settle in if they're around. And it's very important to me because I've always been a cemetery lurker, you know, and I feel like I was always walking around the mall but never did any shopping, you know? That's what it feels like. So I'm aiming to correct that. And I'm very happy about it. And I also got to say, for the past, since working with the infernal, or not working with them, you know, but like kind of learning about them and them opening me up, I really feel that they did. I really feel that they helped me to channel better and to open up, to be more studious. I really did appreciate that. I feel more comfortable now in cemeteries as opposed to feeling kind of nothing or neutral or kind of on edge before. Now I feel like these are my people. They're people just like me, you know, and they have the same problems and I've always known that. It's just that level of comfort was never there. And now it feels like I really legitimately feel comfortable. And it feels good because I go there now to kind of like chill and relax and like hang out with my homies kind of thing, you know, and I'm not taking this lightly. Look, I've had many experiences with physical interactions with the dead, and I don't take it lightly. And my culture does not take it lightly. They have the utmost respect for the dead, as do I. And that's why I'm not the type of person, at least to date, that's going to try to trap the dead person or that's going to try to make them my dog, you know, or to make them my slave or anything like that. No, I believe in a balance, in a reciprocal relationship to the best of its ability. And you get what you want, I get what I want, and we build a happy relationship, and all goes well. I welcome you into my home, and you can be part of my family. You know, that's my Libra rising mindset. My Cancer moon mindset is we can all be family, you know. One thing I found particularly interesting was I was watching a video about leaving a cross as an offering. And I was like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice. Of course, coins, things that you can consume, certain saints that are associated, days, times, colors, you know. But once again, I don't want to tread too much into the Baron Samedi because I'm not going to be that guy. So, that's it. So, she's leading me in a different direction than I was in, but I'm very thankful for the past 4 or 5 months that I was tapping into the infernal left-hand path E type stuff. But I guess it's just not in my spiritual DNA to fully pursue. And I know that people watching this are like, I saw that coming, and I did too, you know. But you can't say that I can't say that I didn't learn anything, because now I can identify their energy. Now I kind of got an inkling of how they operate. Now I understand the background as to how people tried to control them. Now I get the polarity. I understand their demeanors for the most part. I mean, I learned a lot, but I guess I'm just not meant to stay there. But I also know people that are pursuing this path with me. They were pursuing this with me, and I hope you guys are still doing well. I hope you guys are still learning, and I hope you have good luck in that area. But this is our own individual path, and no matter what anybody says, they can make fun of us, they can call us whatever they want to call us, but we ultimately have to decide where we go from here. And I've always loved the idea of working with the dead, and I have been since I met Santa Muerte, and since technically, since I was a teenager, since I was a ghost hunter, I've always been involved with the dead. You can ask my mom. So anyway, that's about it for now. Any ideas for next videos would be great. I don't like to really post too many on doing spell work, stuff like that, because those are a dime a dozen. Everybody posts those. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I monitor my comments. I don't get a chance to sometimes answer all of them, but I do approve them. So if you're going to be negative, or you're going to be crucifying me or whatever, I'm going to delete it. And if you're rude enough, I'll block you. Okay? Because ain't nobody want to be dealing with that. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for staying with me on this very long and crazy spiritual journey. And I'll try to I'll read your comments, and if you have any ideas for other videos, because I'm a YouTuber, just let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later.